Hi everyone, let's talk about Zoom as it is one of the hottest, most popular stocks of 2020. I think most people will be surprised that I actually see a little opportunity here. It's going to take a little explaining, so please follow along if you want to find more about Zoom. Now, if you're new here to my channel, well, welcome, and don't forget to subscribe so you can keep up to date with my videos. I'm trying to help as many people as possible understand what they're actually investing in. See, unfortunately, most people spend more time researching their next computer than they do their next investment. I have built a reasonable size investment portfolio that I'm aiming to continue growing at 20% per year. And I base a lot of my knowledge on the great investors, Peter Lynch, Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, Monish Pabrai, and a handful of others. Okay, now let's jump into the Zoom analysis. So I think we are all familiar with Zoom by now, but it is the cloud-based conference video calling platform that everyone has been using to have their meetings on lately. I am a user of Zoom and I think the program is pretty good. You get 40 minutes free, and then if you need more time, you pay for more. I think a lot of companies happily pay the monthly fees so their employees can work from home. The pandemic accelerated the work from home trend. Interestingly, the reason why many companies previously shied away from remote work was because of productivity concerns. But this theory was crushed during the pandemic as employees were actually more productive at home. The US Labor Department reported that second quarter productivity was 10.6% and third quarter productivity came in at 4.6%. And then both of these numbers are historic productivity gains. As a result, the work from home trend isn't going away anytime soon. In fact, Upwork recently released a report that projects 36.2 million Americans will work remotely by 2025. That's an 87% increase from pre-pandemic levels. And the report also noted that 1 in 4 Americans will continue to work from home in 2021. So it will provide further opportunity in a number of sectors, not just for Zoom. For example, residential building and construction will remain strong in not only the US, but most of the world. See, home improvement businesses will do really well, such as like Home Depot, because if you're working from home, you'll be trying to make your new work environment as nice as possible, or maybe even larger. Now, businesses have worked out they don't need large office spaces anymore, and can save a fortune by getting workers to work from home. So this has all been enabled by video conferencing and smart software that allows groups of workers to work remotely and even efficiently. So many companies will increase profitability due to this, and many workers enjoy not having to commute. In my opinion, going back to an office is not something that will be embraced by both employees or employers. This is a win-win for everyone involved. By the time the pandemic is over, our lives will have been changed forever, and some of us may choose, or probably be told, to work at least some of our time from home. On the right industry trend. And as I've outlined already, Zoom is right on the wave and the big beneficiary of the chaos of 2020. Some analysts see this company as single-handedly replacing the multi-billion-dollar meetings industry. Zoom has a significant partnership with another one of the big winners of 2020. That's ServiceNow. Earnings surprises have been incredible and are in excess of 150% for each of the last 4 quarters. As more people use Zoom, the more people will keep using it. Now, it's not like a social media network effect, but Zoom hardly have to advertise, which is a great sign. Businesses that can grow organically without throwing money at advertising, they're great businesses. I don't know about you, but have you ever even seen a Zoom ad? I haven't, and everyone still knows about it. Customers keep paying for Zoom monthly. It's great reliable cash flow for the business, and it's one of the best business models out there. Now, being a cloud-based software company, the margins are going to be pretty good, and Zoom is no exception here, with above 60% gross margins. Return on tangible equity has just gone past 15%. So being a fast grower, it's actually good that Zoom has already started posting positive return on tangible equity numbers. Really good news here. Revenue and earnings per share numbers have accelerated amazingly this year. It has pushed the business to a whole new level. Now, this is the growth in book value and more signs of a fast grower with book value improving every quarter. ROIC, or return on invested capital, is the ability for the business to compound its profit. So making profit and then making more profit with that profit. And normally 20% is fantastic. So 50% is off the charts, but it has only happened in the past 12 months. Now, most fast growers grow by leveraging debt, but not Zoom. Free organic growth, and this is the best kind of growth. Now, fast growers are often not very profitable, but Zoom is generating a really good amount of free cash flow. Obviously a big improvement from the 12 months previously. The CEO, Eric Yuan, has a strong reputation and a big stake in Zoom at 22%. His fortunes are tied to the company, and that is a good sign of a great business. The incentives of the CEO are the same as that for the shareholders, and that's really important. Okay, I've gone through all the positives. Now it's just as important to go through the negatives. Now, the first negative is there's only one guru investor. None of the value investing gurus that I like to follow are investing, but Chamath Palihapitiya has a stake in Zoom, and pretty much everything he touches at the moment has been turning into gold. Look, I still like big companies, but a lot of the growth might already have happened in the share price. I prefer companies around that $10 billion range and less because there's a lot more upside in them. At $100 billion, how much more can they go? Now, I think their competitive advantage is weak. I don't think they have a strong brand, a secret, or really anything else significant. Look, it is popular right now, but I think this competitive advantage is not a long-lasting thing. I just can't see anything that special about the company. And for me, this is a big concern and maybe why many other long-term investors haven't invested. And then the competition in the tech enterprise world is very strong. So Salesforce, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Apple, Amazon could all jump into this field if they wanted to. Zoom doesn't really have much of an edge except for their user base. Now, they've only been listed for a few years and haven't gone through an economic cycle before. I think this isn't a problem as they are on a good longer term trend, but look, if they'd gone through a GFC or something like that, this would be a bit different, but they haven't. Okay, so right now we're video conference calling, but what about when virtual reality becomes more dominant or some other tech that we can't even think of yet? Will we just put on our glasses and sit at home in our virtual offices with our colleagues and chat to them virtually face to face? Look, screens will probably disappear at some point over the next 10 years. So will Zoom still be relevant? I have no idea. No industry moves faster than tech, and this is a big concern I have as a long-term investor. Okay, I've gone through the positives and the negatives, and I want to know if Zoom is at an okay price. Price is the most important part of this entire investing stuff. Look, watch my video on how price can kill your investment for more info on why I think it is so critical. I like to use this intrinsic value calculator that I made to help me. It is one of the better ways to value a business. And if you want a copy, it's free and it's in the description. This calculator takes into account how much money the company will make and how much it will grow. And here are the inputs I've used for Zoom. Firstly, I used a highly optimistic 60% 5-year growth rate, which will be very tough to meet. I think at $210 is about the absolute highest price I could go for. Young growth companies are just really hard to predict. It is possible that Zoom could go at 150% for the next few years. So look, maybe I'm being too conservative. I just can't get my head around 5 years of anything higher than 60%. Okay, now I have changed the growth rate to 40% here for the next 5 years. Look, 40% I feel a little bit more comfortable with. The explosive growth just can't go on at the rate it has been going. Like I said, I might be misjudging the company, and that is why I find growth companies just so hard to value. It feels like a gamble rather than an educated estimate. But anyway, at 40%, $130 would be the price I'd feel more comfortable with. Now, if we go and take a look at the stock price, it has pulled back significantly from its October highs of nearly $600. That was a bit over-enthusiastic. Look, who knows, maybe it keeps falling down to 210 or maybe even 130. Okay, now my opinion, Zoom has had a lot of things go right. I just don't think the competitive advantage is strong enough. They could get a lot of competition spending money and taking away market share. They also could get crushed by newer, better technology. Now, don't get me wrong, I like tech companies and I think this is the future, but I just don't think this is the business I want to be betting on. But on the other hand, that growth speed is interesting and very attractive and something I'll keep an eye on. Look, maybe they can establish themselves with a stronger competitive advantage and keep the growth up. Maybe 2021 is going to be very similar to 2020 and their sales accelerate even further. Now, if that is the case, I'll happily be proved wrong here. But until then, I'll take a pass on this one. I don't need to speculate too much on the future. But I get why some people see this as a good trade. If 2021 is like 2020, well, Zoom might establish themselves in the market. And 2021 could be a great year for the stock. But look, just in 10 years' time, that just seems like a gamble to me. So is Zoom something that I want to invest in? Now, I would love your opinion on Zoom. Let me know what you think in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this analysis of a high-flying growth company. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my future videos, and I will see you next time.